Okay, so for this video, we're going to assemble all the parts that we made so far inside of SolidWorks and put them together so we can actually see what it looks like and if it works inside of SolidWorks before we even print these. So let's go and get started. So the first thing you need to do is open up all the files that we've made, and I'm only going to open up the top base, the eyeball, the bracket, and the handle. I'm going to leave the bottom base not opened yet because I just want to make sure that all these parts work together with the top base. So here's the top base, the eyeball, the bracket, and then the handle. Okay, now I'm going to go to the top left. I'm going to click on New Assembly. I'm going to select all these. I'm going to click on the top one, hold down Shift, click on the bottom one, and then green check mark once more. And I'm going to click my middle mouse button, and so that these two round parts are facing away from me. I'm going to click on Insert Components. I'm going to click on the eyeball. Before I drag it out and start clicking on top of the base, I'm going to click on this push pin, and that push pin allows me to bring out multiple models of what I clicked on. I'm going to click on the green check mark. Now I'm going to swivel around, and what I need to do is align these holes here with this bottom base. So we're going to probably be changing views here. You just want those holes as close as we could get. One thing you could do too is we're going to change the view or the way that we're looking at this by clicking on Display Style. And I'm going to click here where it says Hidden Lines Visible. Okay, so I'm going to drag this up just a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to click on Mate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find this cylinder. Try to select this cylinder that's inside of this eyeball. I'm going to click on that. And if it selects something else, I'm going to hold down Control Z. I'm going to try it again. I'm trying to find this cylinder here, so I'm just moving around. There it is there. And then I want to click on this top part of this hole from the base. And I'm going to click on the green check mark, and I'm going to click on the check mark again. Now if I swivel around, this eyeball looks like it's levitating. So what I need to do is I'm going to mate it one more time. So click on Mate. I'm just going to click on this circle here at the bottom. And if that one doesn't work, I'm going to click on the other one, and then click on the green check mark. So what I need to do is I'm going to go to Mate, click on that edge of the hole. Then I'm going to click on the edge here of the hole of the base. It's going to bring those two together. Click on the green check mark, click on the green check mark again, and now this eye is just rotating around where those holes are and where they align. So we're going to do the same thing to this other eyeball on the right hand side. I'm going to drag it a little bit over. So I'm going to click on Mate, and I'm going to try to find that cylinder inside of this hole. Then I'm going to click on this top part of the hole from the base. Click on the green check mark again. I'm going to drag this eyeball up. So now I'm going to click on Mate, click on the bottom part of the eyeball, then on the top part of the hole from the base. I'm going to click on the green check mark where it says Tangent, then the green check mark where it says Mate. Okay, so both of these eyeballs should just be rotating from where those holes are. I'm going to line them up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the brackets. So I'm going to go Insert Components, bring out the brackets. Again, before you click, I'm going to click on this push pin here. I'm going to try to get those as close as I can to the eyeballs, and they're going to be facing away from them. And I'm going to click on the green check mark. And the best way to rotate these around is to make sure you're looking down on all these parts here. So I'm going to go to View Orientation. I'm going to click on this top part so it looks like I'm looking down on all of these parts. I'm going to click on my part first, click on Move Component, Rotate, and then I'm going to click, and I'm just rotating this 180 degrees so that those holes get really close to the holes on the back of the eyeball. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this other bracket. Click on the green check mark first. I'm going to select the bracket, click on Rotate, and then I'm just rotating this so that those holes are as close as possible to the back of the eyeball. Click on the green check mark, and I'm just going to try to line them up, right? You can kind of see them here, where those holes are. I'm going to scoot this bracket over. Alright, now we need to mate these holes together. Okay, so I'm going to click on mate. Click on the edge of this right hole. And if it selects something else, I'm going to just do Control Z. And I'm going to try it again. First hole there. The edge of this hole from the eyeball. Those two are lined up. Now I need to do the same thing with this other hole here. Before I can do that, I need to hit this green check mark. And I'm not going to hit this mate yet. So there's the hole there from the bracket. Then there's the hole there from the eyeball. Then I'm going to click on this green check mark, and then the green check mark where it said mate. Alright, second eyeball. Click on mate. I'm going to click on the hole here from the bracket, then the hole from the back of the eyeball. Same thing with this. Same thing with these other holes here. Before I can do that, I'm going to click on the green check mark. Don't hit the green check mark yet, where it says mate. I'm going to click on this hole from the bracket, then the hole facing the bracket from the eyeball. Now I'm going to click on the green check mark, and then the green check mark where it says mate. Alright, so now we need to bring out the handle. So insert components, handle, drag that out, and I'm going to click on the top view, or so we could look at all these parts from the top. I'm going to select my bracket, click on the drop down menu, rotate components. I'm going to click and then drag so that this bracket is flat. Click on the green check mark, and I'm going to go to a side view here. Now I'm just going to drag this handle above the brackets. There we go. And now we're going to go over to mate. I'm trying to get a view of this edge here of this bottom hole from the handle, and then rotate around to click the top hole. And if it does something else, you want to do Control Z. I'm going to get a little bit closer here. So bottom edge of that hole from the handle, and then the top edge of that top hole there. Green check mark. Don't hit this second one yet. And swivel around to the other side. Zoom in. Click on that edge from that bottom hole of the handle, and the top edge of the bracket. Click on the green check mark next to coincident, and then mate. And I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to change the display style. And now if you click on this handle and rotate it, you should be able to see what these eyes would look like inside of an animatronic. So both these eyes would be looking in the same direction. There'd be a motor that turns this handle here. But this is a good idea of what it looks like inside of animatronic when they're moving their eyes. So the next thing we need to do is go to save. So I'm going to go to save button, click on save as. If this menu pops up, I'm going to click on rebuild and save document. Make sure you're inside the file folder. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it iMechanism. And then the date. And then click on save. What we're also going to do is we're going to save this and get this ready for the 3D printer. So we're going to go back to save as. Make sure you're inside the OneDrive. Make sure you're inside documents. The year you have my class. The period you have my class. The semester we're currently in. The name of the project. And we're going to change where it says save as type. We're going to change that to an STL. And we're going to click on save. And we're going to click on yes. And inside that folder, what it's going to do is going to create a 3D file of each of these parts here. So it's going to create a file ready for the 3D printer, for the handle, for the brackets, for the eyes, and for the base. So one thing we would also have to do is to export the bottom part of the base, because we didn't include that in this assembly. Okay, so if you have any questions of how to bring these parts together and how to assemble them inside of SolidWorks to give you a better idea of what it looks like inside of an animatronic, go ahead and let me know. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And feel free to watch any of the other related videos.